Hey everybody, welcome to T. Roy Cooks and welcome to another Thursday Chatting with Troy. I sure appreciate y'all joining us. Folks, I've made this ultimate decision. It's springtime around here in Texas. I got some spring cleaning I actually need to do. So I'm going to take off April and maybe some of May. You know, 4 to 6 weeks or so is what I'm guesstimating. But, I got a lot of stuff to do around the yard, get it ready for the summer and springtime. And I got to clean out my garage, man. Got to do that. Plus, you know, I just got some other things I want to go venturing out and checking out some other YouTubers and stuff. So, anyway, if I'm able to bring you some of those videos, okay, if I shoot some odd videos and put them up on YouTube for you guys to check out and see what I'm doing, then you won't know that I've got a new video up unless you're watching my channel every day, or when you hit subscribe, if you click the little bell icon, and email will get sent to you letting you know I've got a new video up. So I hope y'all check the little bell icon there, right there by the subscribe button. That'll let you know I got a new video. But yeah, man, I've thought long and hard about trying to get this going, and I still want to work on doing some of the live feed stuff. I'm still trying to get that going. I hopefully wanted to get that done this month, but it's just not working out. Doing 2 videos a week it's a lot of work, folks. Which is taking time away from me and Karen. It's taking time away from me doing yard work and stuff. Pool, keep my pool, going. So anyway, I'll be putting up videos when I can, but they're going to be sporadic, okay, for the next 4 to 6 weeks or so at least. But if you still need to contact me, hit me up on Facebook, hit me a direct message or something. I'll see if I can answer you fairly quickly. Or yeah, I don't really answer questions a lot on Twitter or Instagram. Every once in a while I'll check those, but mainly on Facebook. If you got a question, hit me up on Facebook with a direct message, and I'll see if I can get to you fairly, within 24 hours, 36 hours, something like that. Depends on what's going on and whether I'm out traveling on the road, too. Anyway, enough of all that. I just wanted to bring you up to speed, let you know what's going on. And as you can see, I'm perfectly fine. I know a bunch of you guys were concerned about me and asking how Karen and I were doing with that crazy guy going around leaving packages at people's door fronts and everything. So we're all good. And as of this morning, he is no longer alive on the earth. There you go. What we drinking today, T-Roy? Well, let's see what we're drinking today, guys. It's one of my favorites. Y'all seen me drink this before. This is Willin. It's a really good beer. Local brewery here, Brazos Valley Brewing Company, right down the road. Brenham, Texas. That's where they make Bluebell ice cream, folks. Probably about an hour east of Austin. Good stuff, though, man. I really do like this Willin beer. Cheers. All right, let's see if we can get through some of these questions. Hopefully we don't have any squirrel attacks around here where dogs are going crazy and stuff. But thanks again for joining us. And again, if you got a question while I'm kind of incognito doing my own thing here around the house, ask me on Facebook. May be able to answer you, but it's not going to be as quickly as if you'd ask me on Facebook, okay? And then when I get back into a normal routine, we'll get these questions going again on these Thursday chats. Maybe I'll be doing them live when I come back. We shall see. So stay tuned. First question we have is one of my good friends, Phil. He's in Florence, South Carolina, I believe it is. Phil in Florence on YouTube. Y'all go check him out. Link is below. What you got for me, Phil? He said, hey, Troy, enjoy the Tuesday cooking and the Thursday chat sessions. I appreciate that, Phil. Thank you very much, man. And Phil's got a great channel going, too, y'all. Y'all go check him out, man. Show him some love, man. He says, always good discussions and a great place for backyard barbecues to hang out and sharpen our grilling skills. Yep. You learn, we all learn together. We share feedback, and I appreciate all of you who are offering some feedback on some of the questions that are asked. And again, maybe I don't answer them specifically as you could because you got more experience. Feel free to comment in the comment section down below and share your wisdom with the rest of the gang. We're all one community, folks. Phil says, question, I'm planning to add another cooker to my patio. It will be either a pellet or a Kamado. What are your thoughts on each? Thanks, bud, and cheers. Well, that is a good question. Cheers to you, Phil. A pellet or a Kamado? You know, they can both do the same thing. I mean, they both do low and slow. They both bake temps, you know, like 300, 325, 350, 375. And you can get a nice sear, you know, on both of them. I would say the Kamado probably gets a little hotter if you want a real good steak sear. But I know, Phil, you got the slow and sear, and, you know, you can sear steaks on that, okay? But if I had my druthers, I'd rather get a pellet, I think, especially because I do a lot of barbecue. And I say that because from what I've found, at least on my Kamado Joe, if I'm trying to do a low and slow, like 225 or so, I get more of a smoldering smoke flavor in the meat than I would if I crank the temps up to, say, 275 in the Kamado Joe, and then get some smoke in the meat at a higher temp. And that's comparable to what I would think that a pellet would do. But with the pellet, you can actually get lower, you know, do the true 225 low and slow. As far as which one would get more smoke, probably, that's a tough one. Because you can always add wood chunks to the Kamado. And you can always add a pellet tube, burner, fire, smoker thing to the, what do you call it? The smoke tube, you know. Add that to your pellet cooker if it's not producing enough smoke for you. So, yeah, I'd say just, me personally, I'd go with a pellet. Yeah, I would. Over the Kamado. I sure would, man. But I say that having never used a pellet cooker, okay? So take that for what it's worth, Phil. If you just want an all-around cooker that can do everything except smoke at really low temps, go with a Kamado or some other type of Kamado type cooker. I know I didn't really answer your question. Guys, feel free to chime in on this one. And I get a lot of questions about pellet smokers, man, and I honestly have never cooked on one. What I've been trying to do is save some of those questions for like when Justin or James come and hang out with me and do a Thursday chat, because they both have pellet smokers. I have yet to get one, okay? And I've been offered some, but I've turned them down so far because I want to make sure that what I'm getting is going to be a good one. I don't want to chimp out on all you guys. I want to have a great smoker, just like I've got a great offset smoker. I want to have a good pellet smoker. So, still waiting. We'll see. Maybe one of these times Karen gets a nice bonus. Maybe she'll get me one for my birthday next year. We'll see. Or this year. Anywho, appreciate the question, Phil. Next question is from Rusty Lamb. He says, what happened to the grinder you had on the video from way back? Yeah, man, I did some sausage one time. What else does he say? Maybe some burgers and sausage video in the future. Cheers. Hey, cheers to you, Rusty. Thanks, man. Appreciate the question. You know, actually, my buddy Darren out in California, Gucci Pilot, he hadn't commented in a while. I think maybe he's mad at me. But Darren asked me to do a sausage video using that Thunderbird grinder I've got. I mean, it's a commercial grade grinder, folks. It's a nice one. And I found the grinder out in my garage, but I can't find the dies for it. I'm still looking, which, again, I need to clean out my garage. So when I find those dies, then I can do some, grind up some pork or some ribeye or something, make some burgers or some sausages and stuff. I want to make some boudin. That's what I really want to make. But, man, Darren sent me the Umai charcuterie kit or whatever they call it, so I can make sausages using the Umai bags. But, yeah, I need to do that for Darren, man. I apologize sincerely, Darren. I apologize if you're watching this. I will do it. I just need to find all my stuff I need for my grinder, dude. I apologize. And I'm sure I'll find it when I'm cleaning out the garage. Because that's where the grinder's at. That's going to be where my dies and stuff are as well. Got yellow jackets around here again. Y'all remember what happened last year? That yellow jacket got me right there. Stay away from me, yellow jackets. Next question is from Mike Warren. Mike, appreciate the question, man. He says, hey, Troy, love the show. Thank you very much. Appreciate that, Mike. He says, question about your offset. I've been planning for a while to get a Yoder Witchita much like yours, but recently I've come across some chatter online regarding airflow problems. Supposedly Yoder is aware of the issue and has said to turn your pit in relation to the wind direction. I know, don't believe everything you read online. What's your experience been with this issue? Cheers to you. Hey, cheers to you, Mike. Thanks for the question. It's a good one. I too have read those comments that you're talking about in some of the forums. Honestly, it's never really been a big issue to me. But you have to keep in mind, I'm old school. I'm not like these guys nowadays who want an offset that is totally airtight, okay? Trying to be the most fuel efficient that it can be. Me, I throw wood in there. Hell, half the time I don't even close my firebox door all the way. I got something in my eye, folks. There we go. Anyway. So, I usually do leave my firebox door cracked maybe an inch, something like that. And I usually don't have any issues with the smoke coming back out of the firebox door. Unless the pit is cold, then that happens. But I think Yoder's remedied that. I think they made the firebox is either sitting lower or they made the firebox itself a little bit larger. I can't remember which they did. I think they lowered the firebox, which helps with the newer Yoders. So I'm thinking yours will probably be okay. But yeah, mine was made in 2014, and it definitely has that issue. I mean, if I close my firebox door, then it's like I'm not getting enough airflow coming in and going out of the stack. The smoke kind of wants to linger around in that firebox area a little bit too long, and sometimes it will come out of the intake vent. But I just leave my firebox door cracked open an inch or so, and I'm fine. No big worries, especially if I got a nice fire in there. Got that pit warmed up, and it'll chug right along, man. Nice thin blue smoke. Y'all seen it on video. It works great. But again, I'm not one of these who has to have the door shut. If you're one of those guys, then, I think Yoder fixed it, but I haven't tested one of the newer ones to find out. But anyway, Yoder's a great cooker, folks. And it's the only cooker out there that I know of that's got a 100-year warranty on their offset smokers, okay, against rust through. So they stand behind it, man. Anyway, that's a great question. Appreciate it, Mike. Next question is from Chris McTaggart. He says, "Hey, Troy, cheers to you, brother." Chris, appreciate it, man. Cheers. He says, "My question is about bark on smoking wood. I've read plenty of folks saying that bark leaves an intense bitter taste on the meat, but I've seen plenty of bark on your wood, and I don't see you complaining. What's your opinion?" I will say that I do prefer the wood without bark, because, yeah, you're right, what you've read or heard. The bark does... What happens is the bark is like an insulation on the wood itself, okay? The bark takes a lot longer to burn through than if you just had wood in there without the bark on it. And while that bark is burning through, again, it takes a while because it's like insulation on the tree. It'll smoke profusely, much more so than the wood itself once the wood catches fire. So if you just throw in some bark in your firebox, and if you got a wood split, and you strip the bark off of it and just throw the bark in the fire pit, you're gonna get some puffy white smoke. You will. Nothing really you can do about it, man. Whereas if you have some real wood without the bark on it, it's easier to ignite and you don't get that puffy white smoke. What I will say is that, in my opinion, if you do use a lot of bark, you will get a lot of creosote buildup in your pit, and which means you're going to have to clean it more often, But that really depends on the airflow, okay? If you've got really nice airflow through your pit, you may go years without having to clean it. You may not ever get any creosote buildup on the inside. So that thin blue smoke they call it, is it's essential when you're smoking. And like I mentioned before, if you've got some meat in there and you're just wanting just a kiss more touch of smoke flavor, maybe close the exhaust down just a tad. Let that smoke linger around the meat a little more before it goes out, okay? But if you have the exhaust wide open, you get a nice, clean, thin blue smoke, you're good, man. That's the preferred way to do it. And you're going to get billowing white smoke the first 10, 15 minutes of throwing a log on anyway, unless you preheat it, which a lot of folks do. Or they actually go and burn the wood like in a separate outdoor patio wood burner thingamajiggy. Forget what they call them. Like when you're out in the wintertime, you want to sit around the fire pits. They'll throw the wood in there and just scoop the coals out, put the coals in their firebox. That works as well. So any way you go about it. But yeah, if I had my preferences, I'd go without the bark. It does give a more bitter smoke flavor because it's a billowing white smoke. And that billowing white smoke lingers in the firebox, in the cooking chamber more, gets into your meat, and it could make it bitter. Hope that helps, man. Let's see, next question we have is Al Whitehurst. How you doing, Al? Thanks for the question. It says, Father's Day is coming up in a few months. Do I want a Weber Smoky Mountain or that Yoder offset I see you using? Excuse me, he says, I know the Yoder's a lot more money. Is it worth the difference? And is there another offset you would suggest? Yes, getting an offset is worth the price difference, in my opinion. I learned how to cook on the Weber Smoky Mountain. All right, when I moved out here to Texas, I got my Weber Smoky Mountain. I loved it. Cooked on it for 2 or 3 years before I even got my offset. But I will tell you, like I mentioned before, that offset, that produces some real nice smokehouse. True smokehouse type flavor. All right, so that's real barbecue there, man. You do get almost the same smoke flavor from the Weber Smoky Mountain, but you're cooking with charcoal briquettes or lump, and it's just not quite exactly the same. So my personal preference would be the offset. As far as other brands other than the Yoder, I like Lone Star Grills, Gator Pits, Jambo Pits, Shirley Manufacturing, Lang. All those are wonderful pits. Problem you're going to run into, though, is almost all of those pits have to be hand built after you place your order, which means you're probably going to be 4 or 6 months down the line before you actually get one. You may find a floor model that someone has that hasn't sold, and maybe it's an off size than what they would normally sell. They just made ones to show people, and maybe they're just trying to get rid of it. You may find a discount on something like that. So check around and see. I know with the Yoders, though, 6 to 8 weeks delivery time. Last time I heard. In fact, I think mine got delivered within 7 weeks of me placing the order and putting my deposit down. That's one of the main reasons I went with Yoder. They had a quick turnaround time. And I was in a hurry to get me some smoking going on my Texas barbecue. All right, let's see. Next question, Scott Meekin. Cheers, T. Roy. Another great video, pal. Hey, cheers to you, Scott. Thanks, man. I was just double checking to make sure I'm recording. I got red lights in my face, folks. Yeah, I was so disappointed last week, man. Had Justin over here. We had the 3-camera setup angle going on, man. It was really nice, real sweet. And we shot the previous day. We shot all that video with David Parrish from Adrenaline Barbecue and Brother James and Justin shooting videos. And we were all shooting videos all day the day before me and Justin shot that Thursday chat. And I just neglected to recharge my battery fully on the one camera that was aimed at Justin. I did have it plugged into the AC power, though, because I knew the battery was low. But I'm thinking maybe that was the wrong AC adapter, or I didn't plug it in all the way or something, because anyway, that camera went dead. But it was cool while it worked. For like the first, 6, 8 minutes of the video? It was cool. We're going to do that again sometime, folks. And I do like the 2-camera angles. I like being able to give you different looks. And the 3-camera angle was really cool with having a guest here. Really like that a lot. Where were we? Oh, yeah. Scott Meekin. There we go. He says, I have 2 questions for you. All right? Hit me. First question. Can the smoke coming out of the offset ever be too clear? Yep, it can. It can. You need a thin blue smoke. If you're not getting any smoke whatsoever, that means you've got too much airflow going through your pit, and you're not going to get a nice smokehouse type flavor on your meat. Some people, like my wife Karen, she doesn't like stuff super smoky, so that's fine with her. Me personally, I like a little smoke flavor in my meat. That's authentic barbecue in my opinion. So I like to have the thin blue smoke. All right. If I get any more of the, if I try to choke it down a little bit on the exhaust pipe and try to hold that smoke in a little bit longer to linger around the meat, then it gets a little too bitter for me. Okay. And I've actually gotten, like on my Weber Smoky Mountain, I usually go with like 2 chunks of wood, 2 fist-sized chunks of wood on my Weber Smoky Mountain. Because I've tried 3 chunks and 4 chunks when I first got it, and I was over smoking my meat, man. I mean, some of you folks may like that, but in my opinion, that was too much smoke, and I could taste the bitterness in the meat, from the too much smoke. You can have that same thing happen on the offset. But yeah, if you're not getting any smoke, you just see fumes coming out, like a mirage on the road because of the heat, then I'd say you probably got too much airflow. Maybe choke the intake a little bit or choke off the exhaust a little bit. Slow that air down, all right? But again, you may like it that way. Depends on your tolerance for the smoke flavor, actually, is what it depends on. One thing I will say, thin blue smoke or clear, just fumes and the mirage thing coming up, the heat, that's a lot better than puffy white smoke like an old choo-choo train. You definitely don't want that. Let's see. Second question from Scotty says, what are your favorite rubs for beef, pork, chicken, and lamb? Keep up the good work. Cheers. Cheers again to you, Scott. For beef, salt, pepper, maybe some garlic, a little cayenne. Pork, I like my pork and my chicken both to have a sweet heat. And I really don't make my own rubs right now. I want to real bad, which is another thing I can work on if I have time after doing the yard work and stuff I need to do. Maybe I can do that along with working on getting the live feed stuff going. So there's a lot of stuff I need to do in the background. I just need to take some time away from doing videos for a little bit on YouTube. And I may throw one up, like I said, here and there just to let y'all know I'm still kicking. But click that bell notification icon by the subscribe button, and that'll let you know I got a new one coming out. Where was I going? Pork and chicken. Yeah, so since I don't make my own rubs right now, I just buy store-bought stuff, a lot of the time from my local HEB grocery store. Or I'll order from Oak Ridge Barbecue. I like their stuff. Texas Barbecue Rubs. I like their stuff. Cosmos Q. He's got some really, really nice rubs. And there's some other ones y'all have seen me try. There's actually a company. What the heck's the name of it, man? It's also good stuff. Let me go get it. Hang on just a second. Be right back. All right, guys, I found it. And again, I'm not making anything off of this, guys. I'm just telling you stuff that I like to use, okay? I don't get anything from mentioning these guys. They did send me some free product, though. This is Big Country Barbecue, right outside the Dallas area, if I remember right. Let me see. Yeah, they're from Allen, Texas. Big Country Barbecue. And I'll put their link down below. But they've got this bovine dust. And they've also got a rub that's just like an all-purpose type rub. You can put on pork, chicken, fish, whatever. But really good stuff, folks. Haven't used them in a while. And I was just digging through trying to find some Santa Maria seasoning from Oak Ridge Barbecue, because that's real good. And I saw this and I was like, oh, I ain't used that in a while. In fact, Karen, I'm probably 2 or 3 years ago. I'm thinking a couple years ago. I made like the best meatloaf recipe using some a homemade barbecue sauce, basically. And I used some rub in it, okay, for basting on the meatloaf. Karen absolutely loved that meatloaf. And she hates meatloaf. Folks, she asked me to make that meatloaf again for her yesterday. So I use that rub, okay? That bovine dust. That's good stuff, folks. And trust me, that's a great meatloaf recipe. If you love meatloaf, check out the video right here. You'll fall in love with that recipe. It's really, really good. Really good. All right, so we did beef, pork, chicken. Lamb is a little different. Lamb likes to have some rosemary and some sage and thyme. The more herbal flavors, And lamb is really, really good. I've done lamb with just salt and pepper and a little garlic, and it is good that way. But having a little bit of some extra herbs mixed in on the surface, or maybe stick some rosemary down into the meat itself, kind of let it perfume the meat a little bit. That's good stuff, man. That's really, really good stuff. And I suppose you could grind that up, or mix some dried herbs in there with some of your homemade rub and put that on. It'd be good stuff. Really, really good. Anyway, lamb's a different animal, but it's good. I love me some lamb. I wish Karen liked lamb. Appreciate the question, though, man. Appreciate it, Scott. Next question we got is from Terry. Sorry about that last one. Went a little long, didn't it? It did. Cheers. I need a drink. Getting a little parched. Terry Z says, thanks for teaching us grilling and chilling. You're quite welcome. I appreciate the support, man. He says, I love rib candy. Woo, me too, boy. Me too. Love that stuff. TexasPepperJelly.com. And again, I don't make nothing from mentioning these people, folks. I just show them to you because I love the products, okay? I'm not getting a kickback. If I do, I'll let you know. But I'm not getting a kickback unless I mention it. He says, I love rib candy. I've tried the apple cherry habanero and the mango habanero. Mango is my favorite by far. That's my favorite too, the mango habanero. I love that stuff on everything, man. Really, really good. I think I got Justin hooked on it, man. When he was down here doing his ribs, I let him taste some of that mango habanero. I actually gave him a bottle because last time I ordered, I got 2 bottles of it. I like it so much. And I let him have 1 bottle to take back home with him. So I bet he'll be ordering some. But again, I'm just supporting my local Texas product. Good stuff, man. Good stuff. He says, also have a bottle of the apple brown sugar. I got that one too in this last order. And that's the one I've almost emptied. I almost used that whole bottle up the past week or so. The only thing I don't like about it, it tastes good, but the only thing I don't like is when you baste it onto your ribs or chicken or whatever, it's thin enough so that it drips down onto the coals, okay? You still have a layer of it on your meat, but it'll drip down. And when it drips down onto those hot coals, it smells like you're making caramel, which isn't a bad thing at all. I'm just saying it's like, smells like burnt sugar. Anyway, that's the only downside, but it tastes good. He says, what's your favorite flavor of rib candy? Thanks much. Again, mango habanero, I love it. That's my favorite. The Texas Bird Bath is pretty good too. Yeah, if they still have that one. All right, let's see. Matthew Colon. He says, Kingsford briquettes that are hickory, mesquite, etc. Have you tried these, and if so, what's your opinion? I've tried them. Personally, I just like regular Kingsford briquettes or their professional Kingsford briquettes. And then I like to add wood chunks. In my opinion, I'm trying to remember, I ain't used them in a while. I think they burn hotter than regular charcoal briquettes because they've got real wood in the briquette. So I think they burn a little hotter, and I think they burn a little faster. Could be wrong. But I just like regular. Again, I'm just an old-fashioned guy, I'll try stuff here and there, but I just like sticking with something I know works. And what I know works is the original blue and white bag at Kingsford with some wood chunks. Appreciate the question. Appreciate it, man. Yeah, that was Matthew. Next question is from David Wynn. He says, hey, T-Roy, cheers from California. Hey, cheers to all my friends out there in California. Appreciate it, David. He says, I know you talked about the PBC versus the Weber Smoky Mountain. What are your thoughts on the Weber Performer versus the PBC? Well, that's a good question. He says, I'm looking at both, and I think the Weber Performer is more versatile. Yes, I would say you're right. If I had my choice, I'd get the Performer, all right? And again, you almost get the same flavor from the PBC and the Weber Performer because they're both cooking over charcoal briquettes. But, man, you got so many accessories that you can use with the Weber Performer. It's ridiculous. You can make it pretty much do any kind of cook you want, In fact, I don't think I put the question here, but somebody was asking if I've ever used the Weber pizza grill thing that they make for the Weber kettle. I haven't used it, but I bet it works great. So you can grill pizza on that thing, man. Got a pizza stone up in there. And, of course, the slow and sear. You got the different grill grates you can use. They've got the grill grate like I've got. It's got the hole in the center. You can take that center part out and put your wok or something in there. There's so many things you can do with the Weber kettle. It's awesome. That would be my suggestion. Just being honest. Great question, though, David. Thanks, man. Next question we have is from Jim Carson. How you doing, Jim? Appreciate the question. It says, hey, T-Roy, any more news on the Yoder Charcoal grill you looked at on the Yoder tour? Woo! Man, that was a beautiful grill, wasn't it? No, I ain't heard nothing back on that, man. He says, I saw how it stopped you in your tracks, and I have my eye on that barbecue grill. Yeah, man, Jim, that was a really nice grill. And if you hadn't seen it, y'all check out my video up here, man, of that tour of the Yoder plant. That was a fun tour, man. Real good tour. And you'll see the moment Jim's talking about where I'm like, stop. Let's check this out. This looks new. Man, Yoder's kind of weird, though. You know, I mean, they graciously provided that tour. You know, I asked them if they would, and they did. Just a private tour. Of course, they know who I was. But, man, it's like while I was there, I said, you know, my charcoal, my wood grate in my firebox is warped. You know, over the years, that intense heat from burning real wood logs has kind of warped it, made it deformed. You know, and I've tried flipping it over and trying to cook with it that way, and it just keeps rewarping, no matter which way I flip it. I mean, the metal itself is getting degraded, I guess, or whatever you want to call it. So I asked them if they'd send me one of the newer ones that they make that's got the struts on the bottom to hold it more flat, so it doesn't bend and warp and stuff. Okay, it's got square tubing, if I remember right. So I asked them to send me one of those, and they told me they would. I still hadn't got it, so I'm not going to press them for it. I'll just go buy one, I guess, which is the same each of you would do. But I'll tell you what, one of my fans, I don't want to mention him yet, but one of my fans is making, he actually does a lot of steel work, and he's making me a replacement grate for my firebox on the Yoder. I'm going through some preliminary testing, providing him with the results so he can perfect it, make it the best that it can be, and then I think he's planning on selling it. Okay, so y'all stay tuned for that. I'm doing some beta testing for him. So stay tuned. Yeah, man, that looked like a fabulous grill, man. It's just a flat top, that's what it is. But it's like a Santa Maria type where you can like raise and lower the charcoal and stuff. But you raise and lower the charcoal, not the grill grate itself. Does that make sense? Anyway, check out that video up here. Y'all see it. It looked good. Let's see. Next question is from Big Country. Big Country, dude, you was putting up some videos for a while and you stopped. What's up? If you had some more videos out there, I'd promote your channel, man. Y'all can still go check him out, Big Country, if y'all want to check him out. But he ain't put up a video in, heck, what's it been, half a year or something? 6-8 months? Yeah, you need to do some cooking, man. Fire up that pit and go do some cooking for us, man. We want to see what you got. Anyway, he's got a question. He says, hey, T-Roy, been a huge fan of your vids for the past few years from the Dallas, Texas area. Cool, man. You should hook up with Justin, man. Justin's up there around Dallas. Cheers. Or if you're down in Austin, look me up. He says, I too am a big barbecue guy. Recently, I went from an all-in-one grill to an Old Country Pecos smoker. Cool. That's a good one. He says, I'm having trouble getting it above 225 to 250. I've added lump and wood all the time. What can I do to bring the heat up? Excuse me, guys. You need bigger fire. Bigger fire is the only way to get more heat, you know? I mean, if I put enough wood in my Yoder, that thing will be climbing up to 500, 600 degrees. I've done it before. Well, I've had it up to 500 anyway. And I was grilling steaks on my firebox grill grate. That's what I was doing. Anyway, it'll get up that high if you put enough wood in there. And you can also maybe close down the exhaust vent. If I don't really think the Pecos leaks a whole lot, but if you think that's maybe causing the problem, maybe jump on Amazon and get you some of that gasket material that they sell that you can put around the edges of the doors, especially the cooking chamber door. Let's see if that'll help. You can also mess around with like putting a baffle where that hole is between where the firebox and the cooking chamber meet. There's a hole right there where the heat comes through and goes into the cooking chamber. Maybe try baffling that with some piece of tin or something, some aluminum or something. kind of like some of the folks do when they have the Oklahoma Joes, the older ones, you know. Anyway, just some suggestions. Guys, if any of you out there have got the Pecos and you got some suggestions, feel free to comment down below. Just add them to the comment section. And this was Big Country. 2 words, asking the question. Hope that helps, Big Country. Hope to meet you someday, man. Next question is from Paul Nickel. Paul, what's up, buddy? Hey, cheers to you, man. Cheers to you. Paul's a good guy. Me and him talk quite often. Paul says, hey, Troy, long-time sub of yours, and I love the communication we have on Facebook. Thanks for the help and the tips with the questions I have for you. You're quite welcome, Paul. I'm glad to help, man. Glad to help anytime I can. Glad to help any of you guys out there if I can, you know. Well, that's why I do these Thursday chats, too. I learn, you learn, we all learn together. My question is, spritz or no spritz while smoking ribs, pork butt, and brisket? Cheers from here in Ontario, Canada, Troy. Keep up the great videos for us and enjoy and learn. Yeah, I appreciate that. Thanks, Paul. Cheers. Got a lot of fans up in Canada, man. Some good folks. I want to visit Canada someday, man. If I ever do, man, maybe we can hook up. Spritz or no spritz? I'm a firm believer in spritzing. I do spritz. Usually on those really long cooks like pork butt and brisket, I won't spritz for like the first 4 hours or so, and then I'll start spritzing every half hour, 45 minutes after that, through the end of the cook. For ribs, I'll wait a couple hours or so before I'll start spritzing, and that goes with beef ribs or pork ribs. You know, I'll spritz after a couple hours. I'll start spritzing every 30 minutes or so, whenever I think about it. Chicken, yeah, chicken, not as much, but yeah, I do spritz a little bit on chicken, yeah. And you know one thing that I've found too, y'all heard me mentioning using like pomegranate juice or dark, grape juice, stuff like that when I'm spritzing sometimes. The reason I do that is not only because I like the flavor, but it adds a nice darker color to your bark, to the meat. Like if you use cranberry juice, something like that, it's got a reddish tint to it. It will give your meat that reddish color, you know. So try different, you know, don't use apple juice all the time. Use some different juices, man. Check them out. Really good stuff. Really good stuff. Anyway, great question. Great talking to you, Paul. Excuse me. Hope you have a great weekend, man. Appreciate the support. All right, next question we have is from James Mayer. He says, question, T-Roy. I asked this a few weeks back. I'm wondering, for long cooks, what do you eat while waiting for the main meal during those long, slow cooks? I sometimes throw wings or corn dog on the smoker while I wait. So what do you snack on during long cooks? A lot of times I just use, I get some chips and dip. Guacamole or salsa, something like that. But one thing that I do quite often, and I don't really show it on video, occasionally I will, I like to grill some boudin. You know, I really like boudin. I've been trying to find some good boudin here in Austin. You know, because growing up in Louisiana, man, we got some really good boudin, but I just can't find the good stuff here yet. Not the one I like, which is another reason why I want to make my own. But yeah, man, I like boudin. Snack on that. That's what I do. Other than that, maybe some chicken leg or something. Chicken wings, you know. Anyway, that was a great question, man. I snack on stuff, you know. Not a lot, but I do. Cheers to you. Appreciate the question, James. Thank you. All right, guys, that's all I got for you today. Hope y'all enjoyed it, and I will see you next time I see you. If it's 4 weeks from now, again, click the little bell icon, let you know I got a new video, and hope to see y'all soon. I got a lot of work I need to get done, and as soon as I get it done, I'll be back on my regular schedule, Tuesdays and Thursdays. But until then, y'all bear with me. I appreciate it. Please continue sharing the love and spreading the love and letting everybody know that you know about my channel. And we'll meet back up with y'all when it gets closer to the like May, I guess. Yeah, sometime in May. We'll be back. Love all you guys. Appreciate it. Y'all like this, give me some thumbs up. We'll see y'all soon. Hope you share the video when you do. Again, please tell all your friends, family members, co-workers, everybody you know, and your dogs. We love our dogs. T-Roy cooks responsibly. Cheers, everybody.